In this tutorial, we're going to look at how to use one variable data tables, which is part of the what if functionality in Excel, to perform several what if analysis within one single table. And so the data tables functionality allows us to answer the following question. How will revenues, expenses, and net income change for units sold volumes of 15 to 40,000 in increments of 5,000? So in other words, for different values of units sold, as we change it from 15, 20, 25, 30, um, 35 and 40,000, how will these output measures change? And so in order to do this, the first thing we need to do is create a list of values that our input variable can take. In other words, for units sold, it can take on the values of 15,000, uh, excuse me, 20,000, or 25, 30, 35, or 40,000. And I'm going to format this as a comma separated values. And so we would like to know for whenever unit sold takes on each one of these values, how will it affect our total revenue, total expenses, and net income? Our next step is to add the cell location for the output values that we want to see on the top row of the table. And so we want to know for each unit sold, what will be the total revenue, what will be the total expenses, and what will be the net income. Okay, so what's going to happen is Excel, when we use the data table functionality, it's going to take 15,000, plug it into here, and then put the values for total revenue, total expenses, and net income in this row, and then take this value, plug it into here, and return the output values. Okay, going back to our original values, the next step is we have to highlight the entire table, and then we go to the Data tab under the What If analysis, and we select Data Table. Now, in this example, we only have kind of one input that is changing, that is units sold. And we've organized our variable, the values that it can take on, as a column. And so here we're going to say, okay, our input that is organized as a column needs to be kind of plugged into what cell. And so this is going to be, we're going to take each of these inputs and plug them in to cell B4. We're going to click OK, and now we get kind of immediately the results for our function. Okay, and we can test this. If we were to plug in 25,000 for units sold, okay, we see that our total revenues will be 725. Our total expenses will be 651,977.50, and that our net income will be 73,022.50. The reason why this is different is just because of the rounding, because I am kind of not showing the full uh, kind of decimals here, the fractional part of it. Okay, so this creates the data table for us. One important thing to realize is that when you create a data table, if you press Control tilde, what you will see is that these values kind of are not numeric values, but they're dynamic. And so it's saying, listen, I'm getting this value by taking what is in this first column and putting into cell B4, and then returning the value that is in cell B24. Okay. One of the interesting and kind of powerful things about using data tables is that if I were to change the material cost to $10, um, my entire worksheet kind of will update in terms of the table.